You know that guy who pulls up in a leased Mercedes but splits a pizza 3 ways because he's low on cash till payday? That's not an accident. That's not stupidity. That's a system. And by the end of this video, you're going to see it everywhere. In your friends, in your family, and if you're honest with yourself, maybe in you too. This isn't a video about shaming anybody. It's about understanding a trap that's been engineered on purpose to separate people from their money. Let's get into it. Let's clear something up. The idea that broke people are just bad with money is lazy. It feels true because it's simple, but it skips the actual question, which is, why? Why would someone with $400 in their checking account spend $1,200 on a bag? The answer isn't stupidity. It's strategy. Just a strategy aimed at the wrong target. Here's the real target humans are wired to chase. Status. Not money. Status. Money is just one tool for getting it. And for a lot of people, it's the slowest, least visible one. So they skip straight to the tool that shows results immediately. The purchase. Here's the thing nobody tells you about wealth. Real wealth is boring. It's invisible. A person with $2 million in index funds looks, on a random Tuesday, exactly like someone with $2,000. Same car, same jacket, same haircut. Wealth that's actually working for you doesn't announce itself. It just sits there, compounding, silently. But status has to be seen to count. And if you don't have the money to prove your worth quietly, over years, through net worth, you find a way to prove it loudly, right now, through what you're wearing or driving. This is why you'll see someone finance a $90,000 truck on a $50,000 salary. The truck isn't a financial decision, it's a billboard. It's saying, I matter, in the only language that gets an instant reaction from other people. Economists have a name for this. It's called signaling. A signal is something you do specifically because it's expensive or hard to fake, and that expense is the whole point. A peacock's tail is a signal. It's useless for survival. It's heavy, it attracts predators. But that's exactly why it works. Any peacock who can afford to carry that tail around and still survive must be strong. The cost is the message. Luxury goods work the same way. A logo bag doesn't need to be well made. It needs to be expensive and recognizable. The price tag is the entire feature. You're not buying leather. You're buying proof. A proof that says I can afford to waste money, even if you can't. And here's the cruel part. The people who most need that proof to feel valued are usually the people the economy has made feel the most invisible. Nobody swipes a card thinking, I am now purchasing social status. It doesn't feel like that in the moment. It feels like relief. Think about what actually happens right before an impulse buy like this. Usually it's not confidence. It's the opposite. It's a bad day, a comparison online, a moment of feeling small, overlooked, behind. And in that moment, a purchase offers something almost nothing else can. Instant control, instant transformation. You walk into the store as one version of yourself, and you walk out looking like someone else entirely. Someone who's made it. That relief is real. It's just temporary. It's like drinking salt water for thirst. It works for about 10 minutes, and then you need more, and now you're also worse off than before you started. Here's where it gets dangerous. This isn't a one-time purchase. It becomes a loop, and the loop has 4 steps. Step 1. You feel low status, broke, overlooked, behind your peers. Step 2. You buy something expensive to signal the opposite. Step 3. You get a short burst of external validation, compliments, attention, a boost. Step 4. The bill comes due, your actual financial position gets worse, which makes you feel even further behind than when you started. And Step 4 rolls you right back into Step 1. Except now you're poorer, so the pressure to signal again gets stronger, not weaker. This is how people end up with closets full of designer clothes and negative bank accounts. It's not a lack of discipline. It's a loop that's designed to feel like the solution while actually being the cause. This is the part that stings a little, so stay with me. People who grow up around real, established money are usually taught something most of us never get taught. That status is assumed, not performed. If your family's name already opens doors, you don't need a handbag to open them for you. So, paradoxically, a lot of genuinely wealthy people dress plain, drive a 10-year-old car, and don't think twice about it, because they've never had to prove anything to a room. People without that foundation are working with the opposite problem. Nobody's handing them credibility, so they have to manufacture it fast, visibly, and the fastest tool available is a purchase. It's not that broke people love spending money more than rich people. It's that broke people need proof and rich people don't. None of this happens by accident, by the way. Entire industries study this exact psychological gap and build advertising specifically to widen it. Luxury marketing rarely sells the product. It sells the transformation, the version of you that exists after the purchase. The ad isn't, "Here's a well-made watch." It's, "Here's a man who has arrived." That's not selling a product. That's selling identity. And identity is the one thing people who feel low status are the most desperate to buy. And credit makes it worse because credit removes the only natural break that used to exist, not having the cash. Buy now, pay later, and 24-month financing at 0% didn't just make purchases easier. They made the gap between, "I want to feel important right now," and "I can actually afford this," completely invisible until the bill shows up. Here's the honest answer, and it's not just budget better. That advice fails because it treats this as a math problem when it's actually an identity problem. The real fix is learning to get your sense of status from something the loop can't touch: skills, relationships, reputation built on being reliable and good at what you do. Those things also signal value to other people, but they compound instead of drain, and nobody can repossess them. The second fix is smaller but immediate. Put a 48-hour rule between the urge and the purchase, whenever the price would sting if it disappeared tomorrow. Almost every purchase driven by this loop is driven by a feeling that will pass on its own in a day or two. If the desire is still there after 48 hours with a clear head, that's a completely different decision than the one made in the heat of feeling small. So, no. Broke people don't buy expensive things because they're bad at math. They buy them because our brains care more about being seen as valuable than about actually being financially secure, and because an entire industry is built to profit from that exact gap. The people who escape this loop aren't the ones who suddenly develop more willpower. They're the ones who stop trying to buy status and start actually building it, quietly, slowly, in ways that don't show up on Instagram, but absolutely show up on a bank statement 10 years from now. If this made you rethink a purchase you made, or one you almost made, let me know in the comments. And if you want the follow-up on how advertisers specifically target this feeling, that video's coming next. Subscribe so you don't miss it.